government will never take anybody's property forcefully and deny you the adequate compensation. But at the same time, let us be very measured in what we expect to get in terms of compensation within the law when phase is about engagement. Ever so often, we engage in projects, and those of us who are Ghanaians have evidence of projects that we thought were well-intentioned, completed, and nobody uses it. A classical example is if you drive across our country, you will see a number of market stalls, but the communities are still selling along the highway. The question is, when the market stall was built or was being built, what was the engagement with the people who used to sell in that community? Were they briefed? Did they agree that the market stall should be built where they are? If so, how come they don't use it? All amounts to us wasting scarce resources. So I think this phase is so critical because it's about people. And I agree with the dream that one day going to Togo, you probably don't need to carry a passport. One day going to Nigeria wouldn't feel like going to another country, but just a stroll across to your neighbors. My brothers and sisters, I think this project, as we've been told, started since 2013. You can imagine the dreamers, the first dreamers of this project. Many of them probably have passed on, but we are here to carry on that dream. Anybody who travels elsewhere in the world, whether it's in Europe, everywhere, you realize that there's a conscious and a deliberate effort to connect people by road. By far, road transport is the largest method of communication by the majority of the people living on this planet. Few people may fly, few people who are daring may cruise on the sea. The majority of us will have to use the ground, which is the road. Trade amongst ourselves is largely by road. The yam, the tomatoes, and everything you probably consume today will probably get to your grocery shop by road. Your children, even if you sick this morning, how to get to hospital, most likely by road. So road is pivotal to everything we do in our country. It is without a doubt that this ministry gets one of the biggest attention of Ghanaians in our country, because everything we do hinges on it. As of whether we have the resources to back the expectation of the people is another matter. That is why projects like this ought to be taken seriously and brought to the doorsteps of the people so they understand. Maybe that is when people will realize how much do we need to spend to be able to achieve this noble dream of our forebears in our country. My brothers and sisters, His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama has asserted his unwavering commitment to the Abidjan-Lagos corridor, recognizing its strategic importance for our national growth and regional prosperity. His vigorous support underscores the project's role as a vital driver of economic transformation, improves connectivity and socio-economic development for our people. The President's endorsement reflects his vision of a unified, prosperous West Africa where infrastructure serves as a backbone of development. As a Minister of Road and for my sector, I want to emphasize that infrastructure development is not just about constructing roads and bridges. It is about building connections, connecting communities, economics, and opportunities. We recognize that the success of such projects depend on our ability to engage meaningfully with those that are impacted, respecting their concerns and incorporating their insight to create sustainable and inclusive development. With this, I want to say that when we go on a roadshow, enter our communities, one of the things we need to help bring to the doorsteps of our people is, yes, this project would have, positive economic impact. It will also have environmental and impact. It will also have to necessarily deprive some other people of their property today. But the laws of our country allows government to take those properties but adequately compensate the owners for that. But my brothers and sisters, we've noticed also that in our country that some people basically take advantage of this situation. So for instance, people get to know that part of the alignment goes through a certain community, which as of the time the consultants were carrying out their studies, there wasn't anything there. But just because they went through that community and people asked them, what are you trying to do? And they say, we want to build a road. In 6 months' time, you see foundations springing up everywhere. And then the people, we had a situation where I have letters in my office, people writing me, asking me, should I continue to build my house? Because they came to tell us that a road will be passing here. When we checked the record, perhaps there was nothing there when the study was being done. And sometimes when the legitimate valuation authorities come up with what people are entitled to for being deprived of their properties, some people basically reject the valuation and resort to very lengthy legal processes. These processes basically impede the process of the project and deprive all of us. Government will never take anybody's property forcefully and deny you the adequate compensation. But at the same time, let us be very measured in what we expect to get in terms of compensation within the law when we have that encounter with our communities. Furthermore, I am pleased to affirm the big push agenda of His Excellency President Mahama. I think this project aligns perfectly with his dream, and then his determination that these things needed to be done more timeously than we have ever done before. For instance, the corridors such as the Eastern Corridor, the Western Corridor, the Upper Corridor, and the Outer Ring roads around our major cities. Indeed, I've realized that by this proposal, the major trans-ECOWAS traffic ought not to be going through the city of Accra. So there will be a bypass, which is in line with President Mahama's dream under the Big Push project. I would also have, at the right time, some, not questions, some ideas to share as to if you were to go to Nigeria, you will notice that this alignment, they have actually gone ahead to build part of this already. What does that mean for this project? We are also in a process of building sections. What would that mean for this project? Of course, when the whole corridor is connected, that is what we want. But if a state were to call it pre-finance, the same thing, is it the case that we can say that we can finance because we don't have enough time? President Mahama is determined to see the Big Push project completed within a certain time frame. I am not too sure of the start to finish of this particular corridor. If we can pre-finance our section or sections of it, what would ECOWAS do in terms of the investment we have made? Because we intend to finance part of this through the public purse. Would we get reimbursed? I'm sure these are questions you will get when you go into the communities across the country. We remain unwavering in our commitment to addressing community concerns, mobilizing feedback, and fostering genuine collaboration elements essential to ensuring that this project not only achieves its technical and economic milestone, but also aligns with the aspirations and well-being of our people. This initiative embodies our collective responsibility to build infrastructure that is sustainable, inclusive, and elevates the social and economic fabric of West Africa and region. It is clear testament to our shared vision of a prosperous, united West Africa, one interconnected by modern, reliable road to drive economic growth, enhance regional integration, and uplift our citizens. On behalf of His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama and the good people of Ghana, I want to express my sincere appreciation to ECOWAS, our development partners, and every stakeholder whose dedication and unwavering support are crucial to the transformation, in transforming this ambitious vision into reality. Your collective effort affirm our political resolve and commitment to regional progress. I want to seize this opportunity to congratulate ourselves for the 50th anniversary of Economic Community of West African States. Over the past 5 decades, ECOWAS has been a beacon of regional integration, peace, and progress across West Africa. This milestone reminds us of the importance of cooperation, solidarity, and collective effort in achieving our common goals. Our regional collaboration exemplified through initiatives like the Abidjan-Lagos Highway project, underscores our shared commitment to fostering connectivity and development that benefit all our people. Let us capitalize on this opportunity to build not only a highway, but also stronger bonds of trust and cooperation amongst our communities. In closing, I call on all present to use this moment for meaningful dialogue, strategic partnership, and decisive action. Let us work together across borders, sectors, and communities to ensure the successful implementation of the Abidjan-Lagos Highway Development Project, laying the foundation for a legacy of development and stability of generations to come. I urge facilitators of the sensitization program not to disregard any concerns raised by members of our communities, as each view and concern is very important. Thank you very much. Once again, I look forward to our continued collaboration and shared success. And in this, I want to thank the consultants for their forward-looking design and commitment. We've had a situation where people still believe when you want to do tolling, you should build physical barriers on roads to collect tolls. I am very excited to see that the proposal by the consultants look forward to a smart way of tolling roads where people who ought to pay don't have to be obstructed simply because you want them to stop and pay. Rather, you want a free flow of vehicles, yet have the technology to collect this. Indeed, Ghana would roll out a smart road tolling system before the end of this year, which ties in perfectly with what you are trying to do. So we believe this is the way to go, and we thank everybody for this. Let us work together. Let us not be people who would have said that we also participated in one of the Lagos-Abidjan meetings some time ago, and it will still be the responsibility of others to implement. Let us be the generation that actually realize the dream of our forebears and get this project done once and for all for our subcontinent. A very important point raised by our sister from the National Road Safety Authority, which is very important. But we all know that in our country, the use of the word Okada means that all motorbike, because when somebody is riding a motorbike with somebody at the back, that doesn't necessarily mean the person is doing it for commercial reason. It could have been anti. So we are talking about how cyclists will be safer using our road. But let's face it, I have seen trucks on our roads driving slower than Okada. I've seen trucks go on the Kratama motorway right now. You see that even trucks which are doing 20, 15 kilometers per hour are in the inner lane. So it is about enforcement of the law rather than design. Is there a way we can design to prevent vehicles driving at a certain speed from not venturing into a certain lane? I'm not an engineer. Maybe there's a solution, but I don't see that happening easily. So I think these are concerns we need to take on board. You don't see people riding bicycles on highways in other countries. It is just something you are not supposed to even venture. You can't be seen to have a truck overloaded with the height above a certain level on a road. Other countries, the penalty is that you forfeit the entire goods on the vehicle. Instead of pretending we are taking 200 cedis, when the person is carrying 40,000 cedis worth of goods, he can afford to offend 200 cedis and get away with it. So maybe the enforcement regime that will have to come along with this has to be completely different to make sure that the discipline part of it come on board. Yes, we've come to a stage where I believe we all believe in this dream of our forebearers. And I believe, I'm calling on my colleagues from the 5 other West African states to be committed to this. I have no doubt that they are committed, but let's show further action by taking hold of the specific roles we are all supposed to play in our country. They've already said that, for instance, one critical one that can derail the project is the acquisition of right-of-way. I am quite amazed by the land tenure system in Nigeria. Amazing. Where the government owns everything. Imagine if that was the case in Ghana. In Ghana, apart from the fact that there's a legal title to the land in the name of Kwesi, when Kwesi is not there, you now need to define who is supposed to legitimately inherit Kwesi. That can be 15 years of legal tussle. That is what the issue is. But I'm sure once we get the full design, we define the right-of-way, government will then go ahead and acquire the right-of-way through an executive instrument, and then we can secure it and pay the adequate compensation. What it means is that every other country must be thinking of doing that. So I call upon my compatriots across the 5 countries to do same. All those who are going to be playing different roles, especially the media, we have already said that please listen to our people. Don't just ignore whatever they are saying, because as long as we can work with them together, we can take on board their views. I'm sure the success of the project will be easier. There's no doubt about the economic benefits of this project. We produce goods and services that are needed across borders. Imagine the impact on our economy if we can produce and sell across. Of course, even today, there are fruits, vegetables coming from other parts of West Africa coming into our economy. Sometimes the price is higher simply because of what the ordeal the vehicles have to go through to bring them to our grocery shop. So I believe this would, there's no doubt that this project would surely improve the economic well-being of our people. Let us also use this opportunity to develop skills. We are firm believers in the capability of the African, the West African. By the time we finish this project, we should develop new sets of skills, highly skilled people in the built environment. Because we are not only building roads, as they said, we are building other, industrial parks, rest stops and other things. We should use this opportunity to do that. We should surely use this opportunity to develop the capacity of the Ghanaian and then the contractors in the sub-region. Whilst we welcome, collaboration with external, participants and other things, imagine this. N1 in the United Kingdom was built in 1975. Imagine when Accra Motorway was built, 1965. So we built a road 1965 that is largely still operational before Britain attempted something like that. It tells you our capability if we work together as a people. If we can build a motorway in 1965, before UK built their first London orbital, N1, 10 years later, imagine what we can do if we work together. I believe it's a challenge to the engineer, the quantity surveyor, and all people in the built environment. An opportunity is coming again where you can showcase what we are capable of doing. And I believe working together, this project can be one of the turning points that we can say, yes, Africa means quality. Africa means cheaper in price, not cheaper in quality. Africa means, or West Africa means, actually doing things that actually unite us. It is not only the political unity we should be talking about. Unity cannot be defined better than constructing a road from Abidjan to Lagos, because that one is physical and everybody can see it. This is my call to all of us to get on board and work together. Thank you very much.
Good morning, and I will want to stand on the protocols that were earlier established as we hurry to wrap up, and hopefully we can do that before midday. The sensitization has begun. A very interesting question was asked about why it is Abidjan-Lagos when a chunk of the road is in Accra, or if you like Ghana, it's going through Ghana. And a similar one was running through my mind when I went through the literature, and I noticed that even in referring to states, sometimes you hear Abidjan, Nigeria, Togo, Benin, and Ghana. And I'm wondering when Abidjan became a state. But I'm sure this is the reason why we need more sensitization, so that we can all get to understand what is at stake and the roles that we can each play. And the Honorable Minister said it without referring to our first president, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, when he said that the independence of Ghana was meaningless unless it was linked up with the total liberation of Africa. Yes, that was for colonial, if you like, independence, and that was to liberate us from the control of, those who colonized us at the time. But now, liberation can also come in the way that we link up with each other through a road network. And that is, again, the reason why I'm excited that only yesterday, our current president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, was making a point. And he said that Africa needed to act not as debtors, but as partners demanding transformation. And I think that is the road that we are on this morning, how we can transform and ensure that we, design solutions that are fit for our own, that are fit and can solve our problems. And I'm excited particularly about this project because President Mills, God bless his soul, started the idea of AFTA. And thanks be to God, today AFTA is, operating, and the headquarters is here in Ghana. And again, the Honorable Minister, when he was speaking, talked about the most important infrastructure when it comes to promotion of trade around the world is road infrastructure. And how beautiful is it, again, that it took President Mahama in 2014 with his colleague Goodluck Jonathan to also propose the idea of the Abidjan, Lagos corridor to facilitate, the idea of President Mills in the introduction of AFTA. And what a beautiful coincidence, or a beautiful coincidence of faith it will be to have President Mahama join his colleagues to commission this Abidjan-Lagos corridor once again as president, if it is done, and I'm sure and I'm hoping that it is done under his tenure. And he has repeatedly demonstrated his commitment to this particular project. So on this note, I just want to thank all stakeholders who have played various roles in bringing this dream of the Abidjan-Lagos corridor highway this far. It is our duty, our responsibility now to make sure that we complete it as we have been called to action by our minister, so that generations that will gather like this in future will say the Abidjan corridor road was done by those of us in this room playing different roles. We want to also thank the Almighty Allah God for, shaping this dream and bringing it to this point. And I wish to also thank our Honorable Minister for his dynamic and inclusive leadership on this project and many other projects that we are undertaking in this ministry. I want to thank the ministry staff, especially those who have played various roles on the Abidjan corridor road so far, and also those who have made it possible for us to have this beautiful ceremony this morning. I mean, when I entered the the hall, I was surprised at how beautiful it has become. I was still expecting the long tables and all of that. But congratulations to the team that has put this beautiful event together. And I also want to thank the chief director and all the staff of the ministry for the hard work that they put into the roles that they are always given. And the team that work on this Abidjan Corridor Road, more is expected of you, but thank you for the work that you have done so far, and God bless you all. I thank you once again for your audience. Have a good morning.